Sungmin, you want to kick us off?
Thank you. Two topics, if I may. There are reports that Speaker Johnson might renege on the top-line spending deal that he's reached with Senator Schumer. And now the Speaker has come out and said that he's made no commitments to doing so. He's just talking with members of his conference right now. But what is the White House's message to House Republicans who want to not abide by that deal between Johnson and Schumer?
So just a couple of things to say on that. Like, House Republicans, as we know, voted for an agreement back in May. That is what we know. That is a fact. Speaker Johnson reaffirmed it on Sunday. He did it himself, his own words. And so we have an agreement. Republicans need to keep their word and stop playing or any games here. We cannot have a shutdown. The American people do not deserve a shutdown, and that is their basic duty, to keep the government open. We've been pretty consistent about this. But again, there was an agreement House Republicans agreed on in May, and the Speaker Johnson reaffirmed it on Sunday.
And on another topic, this week alone, President Biden has had 3 of his judicial nominees withdraw from consideration. So can you discuss what's happening with that? Are there vetting issues on the White House end? There didn't seem to be blue slip issues here. So are you facing more resistance from members of your own party on nominees? Or do these nominees just not want to go through the confirmation process?
So look, I'm assuming it's a case-by-case situation. Every person has probably their own reason to not move forward on their particular specific respective nomination. So I can't speak to it in a broad stroke, obviously. But look, the president takes all these nominations very seriously. He always wants to put forth, and he has put forth, a very credible, qualified folks, especially in these, obviously in these positions, to how important they are. But I don't want to speak about it in a broad stroke, and I don't know each case, so I just want to be super, super mindful. People may have their own reason to step down from this nomination or step away from their nomination.
The White House concerned that the pace of confirmations appears to be slowing, especially after the 2 sort of rapid pace years that you had for the first 2 years.
Well, you said something that's really important that I want to make sure the American people know. There's been a rapid pace. We've had historic movement on our nominations, so we appreciate that. We appreciate certainly the Senate for moving in that rapid pace. Obviously, we want to get these nominations done. It is a priority. It is important to get these folks into their position. I just don't have anything to share beyond that. I don't want to get into specifics as to why folks may have stepped down or not part of the nomination process anymore. I just want to be super mindful. Catalina.
Senator Schumer said it's crystal clear that a CR is needed to keep the government open. You had said yesterday that kicking the can down the road is not the way Congress should be operating, but is the president prepared to sign a CR?
I'm not going to get ahead. There's conversations happening, obviously. I don't want to get into hypotheticals from here. It is important to keep the government open. We've been very clear on that. There is a framework agreement here that is also important to note. And so I just don't want to get into hypotheticals at this point.
Will the president sit down with congressional leaders this week?
Well, don't have any schedule to preview. As you know, the president spoke to Speaker Johnson yesterday on the phone, because he thought it was important to have that conversation right away, and so they had that conversation. I just don't have anything to share on a preview, any meetings as it relates to the budget.